Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and this is my first video of 2023, and that's actually not by choice. As a lot of you know, my YouTube channel was hacked, so I was unable to post anything. Now, you might have seen it on your homepage. They live streamed some weird scams. I kept you guys updated over on Twitter and Instagram. But anyways, I worked with Google. They were great to work with. They helped me get the account back. They helped me get the channel back, and all the back end stuff seems to be taken care of. If you're looking for a full story, I'm gonna post a video on Instagram explaining what exactly happened. But now it's time to get to that first video, and I'm excited because phones are starting to come out again, and we're gonna start with a big one. Samsung, they are having their Unpacked event on February 1st. It's official, where they'll launch all their new devices. Now in my hands, I have the S22 and S22 Ultra here, which we're gonna talk about what to expect out of this event with the different devices you'd expect the S23, S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra to stick with the same lineup as the S22. There's a ton of leaks, renders. I'm gonna show you them throughout the video, and we're gonna talk about what to expect out of these phones. I also wanna make a note that if you have any interest at all in these devices that are coming out, be sure to reserve yours. It's completely free, and it gets you up to a $100 Samsung credit if you do decide to pre-order it. All you gotta do is put in your name and an email, so I can link to that Samsung website down in the description below. It's really easy, so make sure you do reserve yours if you have any inkling of interest. Quick side note, I will definitely be making a lot of videos on these devices, so make sure you subscribe so you're notified when those go live very shortly. I will cite all my sources down below. I'll just link to all the different Twitter leaks, ON leaks. There's different websites as well where I just gathered all of this information. This is all leaks and rumors, so nothing is actually official yet. Now, let's get started. So first of all, just like the last lineup, I expect all three phones to have the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor that just got announced. Now let's move on to design, and taking a quick look at the S22 and S22 Ultra, you'll notice a difference in those rear cameras, with the S22 having a sort of cutout, whereas the camera lenses on the Ultra are individual. Also, in case you're wondering, that scratch on the back of my S22 Ultra, I dropped it on some gravel, and thankfully that was just the only mark that came out of it. So now that you've seen these two, let's take a look at the S23 lineup with some leaked images and renders and the design. And you'll notice I focused on that rear camera because it seems like, at least according to these images, the S23 lineup will completely adopt what the S22 Ultra had, with just these individual lens cutouts on the back as opposed to a, kind of a raised look. And this particular leak is from Snoopy Tech on Twitter. So again, not sure how reliable all these images and renders are. They're just leaks, so they might not be accurate. With 4 different colors: cotton flower, misty lilac, botanic green, and phantom black. So pretty cool. I actually do like these colors that are shown in these renders. Now let's talk about sizes of these devices. And again, coming from a Twitter source, we have Galaxy S23 with a 6.1 inch display, and then bumping up to 6.6 inches for the Plus model, and then 6.8 inches for the Ultra. I expect, according to these leaks, that there will be a 1080p resolution with the S23 and S23 Plus, and then a 1440p resolution, so a higher resolution with the Ultra. And if you remember on the S22, they all had 120 hertz displays. I actually don't know. The leaks are saying 120 hertz on all 3 displays. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows if Samsung's going to bump it up 144 hertz or more. And also notice by these pictures the difference between the S23 and S23 Ultra, the curved sides versus the flat display. According to these pictures, it looks like they're sticking with the curved sides on the Ultra model, which is interesting. I get the argument with the curved sides. You want a flat panel because it comes with an S Pen, which again, I really hope the S23 Ultra does. I assume it will. So expect a flat top to the S23, S23 Plus, and then the Ultra to have the curved sides, but an added S Pen. So let's flip the phones over and see what we can expect out of the cameras on these devices. I have to say, the S22 Ultra still, even after almost a year, has one of the best camera systems on any phone right now. So I'm really excited to see what the S23 Ultra is going to bring. Now, according to some leaks, the S23, S23 Plus will have the same camera system: 50 megapixel wide angle lens, 10 megapixel telephoto, and 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. And onto the leaks of the Galaxy S23 Ultra. According to this Twitter user. So again, who knows what it's actually going to be, but they say a 200 megapixel main sensor, which, you know, a couple other phones do have, so it's not out of the question. It would be pretty great if Samsung brought a 200 megapixel lens to their phone, so we'll see. And then 2 telephoto lens, 10 megapixel periscope telephoto, and just a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens as well. Now I also saw, I believe it was sammobile.com, they are adding features including a pro mode to the front facing camera, so you can really tweak all of the settings how you like to. And actually on that reserve page I have linked below, again, be sure to reserve your device if you're interested at all. That link is down below. But on that page it gave you some information, and it's talked about moonshots. It had, you know, little images of the potential circles of the lenses as well, so maybe they're improving on taking pictures of the moon as well. So I'm really excited to see what the S23 Ultra and even the S23, S23 Plus camera is going to bring. For some more detailed specs, Tom's Guide says that the S23 Ultra will have a base of 8 gigs of RAM, but an option for 12 gigs, so that would be really nice to see. And then the S23 and S23 Plus will have 8 gigs of RAM as well. And when it comes to the battery, starting at the S23, 3,900 milliamp hour, and then 4,500 milliamp hour, and then all the way up to 5,000 milliamp hour. I wouldn't put much stock into that info though. I mean, it sounds about right, but that website had said that only one of the phones would have fast charging, so I don't know how accurate that actually was. So anyways, that's it for me for now. Don't worry, I'll be getting my hands on these devices, doing a ton of different videos, so be sure to subscribe. But anyways, drop a comment. Let me know what you think if you're going to pick up one of these phones. I'm pretty excited. Very clean design. Samsung has some of the best hardware in any phones out, so just, you know, cleaning things up, making everything really polished. I really like to see that. And I'm sure there's a lot more surprises ahead, so we'll see at Samsung's Unpacked. I'll be covering it, so be sure to follow me over on Twitter for that live coverage and even Instagram. But again, thank you for being here. I appreciate all your support. And as always, thanks for watching.